Can you read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams is all about.
Marsha Randall claims she was unjustly fired from her house cleaning job after her boss made requests that were out of line. Carolyn Oliver says she could no longer trust Miss Randall's judgment or her work ethic.
Ladies, I see I've got Miss Marsha Randall as my plaintiff, Miss Carolyn Oliver as my defendant. Miss Randall, you are suing for $8,000. You're saying that the defendant here unfairly fired you and that she owes you the balance of your housekeeping contract. Tell me why we're in court.
I'm here suing my former employer, Carolyn. She wrongfully fired me. I've been working for her for 8 months. Every day that I'm there cleaning, she has a mimosa. She drinks a lot. I noticed this throughout my 8 months of working there.
Okay, now tell me how that's your business, Miss Randall.
It's not really, but she wants to make it my business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long was your employment contract for?
It was for 1 year.
Okay, so the defendant had employed you for 1 year as a housekeeper to clean her personal
Correct.
residence.
Correct.
Okay, and you're saying within 8 months of that, she terminated the agreement and fired you?
That's right.
Now, why did she fire you?
Apparently because I didn't want to babysit her 17-year-old son and alert her when he was drinking. I don't know, like I said, she drinks every time I'm there, so I don't know how often she drinks, but it seems like a lot. I don't know if she allows her son to drink. I don't know her rules of her house. So it's not my job to let her know if I noticed him drinking.
So I'm going to get, because some big facts are missing, clearly, right? Okay, so you're saying that everything was going just dandy. The cleaning of the home was being executed at a high level, so there wasn't a problem with your work product, right? Okay, let me get to you then, Madam Defendant. That sounds like an unbelievable story. Please tell me more.
It is unbelievable, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I fired her because several reasons. She violated my trust, but also there were quite a bit of incidences that we had. She started off well. She was cleaning the house well.
How often was she coming to clean, ma'am?
I'm sorry?
How often was she coming to clean?
Oh, she was coming once a week.
Okay, so you did hire this young woman for a 1-year contract.
Yes.
She used to clean and show up for 1 day out of the week.
Yes.
And you're telling the court that she did do that to your satisfaction for a period of time.
For a period of time.
When did it change?
She was cleaning it well, but then she kind of got a little lax, and the house cleaning was not up to par after a while.
Did you tell her that?
Yes, several times I spoke to her.
Did she communicate that to you, ma'am?
She did, but she's very nitpicky, and I don't think that it's true.
So you don't think it was reasonable?
No.
Okay, well, the court will decide. Okay, go ahead, continue, ma'am.
It was reasonable because the things I asked her to clean that are on our contract are the things that were, not clean when I asked her to clean them.
Okay, you're referencing a contract. She's referenced a contract. Does someone have a contract to show the court?
Yes, I do.
Okay, but both of you, please proffer up your evidence to my bailiff here.
Just have the folder as well.
The whole folder? Yeah, everything,
yes.
so I can see. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Do you have any evidence for the court, ma'am?
I do not. I have the same contract.
Okay, so this is the only thing I'll consider. This is the contract of employment between these two. I see it is both between Marsha and Carolyn. It constitutes an employment agreement. Employees shall arrive between 5 a.m. and 5:30, so super early every Saturday. You shall be compensated bi-weekly, so you're paid every 2 weeks. Your duties include cleaning the house and maintaining the appliances. Okay, because nobody wants to clean that microwave or that oven. God knows. Okay, employment may be terminated at any time, which is standard, if employee conducts herself in a way that jeopardizes the safety of the employer, her property, or her family. And I see you both have signed this,
Yes,
right?
right.
Okay. So while I do appreciate the contract, Miss Oliver, it does read a bit vague because you're talking about cleaning the house and maintaining the appliances, but it doesn't specify. Is it dusting? Is it mopping? Is it sweeping? What cleaning? Is it washing the dishes? What was all supposed to be a part of that?
It was washing dishes, doing the floors, and the windows.
Okay, and you're saying what
And the
part of
appliances.
That's not true. I actually don't do windows.
You don't do windows.
Nope.
Okay. So, and it's not in the contract. So what part would you like the court to understand that she got slack in your framing?
Well, the appliances. She wasn't cleaning the appliances.
See, I told you, Elijah, nobody wants to clean that microwave and that oven.
I was,
That's the-
though. I was.
But you're saying that you were
Yes.
cleaning them. Okay, so
No,
you guys
but
dispute.
that's not it. But that's beside the point. The point that the incident that we're talking about today is what happened with my 17-year-old son.
But I'm going to tell you why it's not beside the point, Miss Oliver. It's not beside the point because this woman is saying that you had no valid reason to fire her. And she's saying that the reason you fired her, which I know you're going to explain, has something to do with your son and his drinking and this and that. And if this court finds that that is improbable and irrational as a reason to fire, the only thing that's going to help your case as the defendant is if I am convinced that she did a poor job cleaning.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
And so she thinks she's not supposed to tell, the mother of a minor who's been drinking and strongly smells like alcohol. And so I ended up having to fire her because I just feel like she violated my trust.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a case of Marcia Randall, who blames Carolyn Oliver for firing her for no good reason.
So you can't have it both ways. So I don't want you to Monday morning quarterback that argument later on. So I want you to stand 10 toes down in your assertion that either she satisfactorily cleaned your house or she didn't. So did she or did she not?
No, she didn't.
Okay.
In the beginning she did, but afterwards, no. It was very lazy.
So we got to stay. So that's not beside the point. That is very much part of the point. So you're saying in addition to, per your understanding, unsatisfactory housekeeping, what is the additional issue that brings us to court today?
Well, there was a couple times when, when I checked my cameras one day, I saw that she was carrying a beer bottle out of my son's room after, supposedly cleaning it. She also cleaned the rooms, and when she came out in the hallway, there, is a camera there, and she was carrying a beer bottle. And I asked her, why were you carrying a beer bottle out of my son's room? And she said, that she was just cleaning. And I said, but why was there a beer bottle in there, and why didn't you tell me about it? What is going on? Why didn't you tell me about it? And she said, well, I'm just here to clean. And I said, well, don't you think I should know if there's a minor, that has a beer bottle? That's something you should tell me. And she was just like, well, it's not my job. I'm not, it's not up to me. And I said, well, if there's some kind of, he's a minor. He shouldn't be drinking. And if I didn't see it, you should have let me know. You took the bottle out of the room. And, you could at least let me know. So, a little bit of time goes by. And then, the day that I fired her, I was getting ready one morning, and it was 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was getting ready for work, and while I was getting ready, I didn't hear my son getting ready, so I went in there to wake him up, and I tried waking him up, and usually he jumps right up, but that morning I shook him, and he didn't wake up. He was very unresponsive, and I was,
That's scary.
He did a little bit. I was terrified.
Yeah, that's very
And I
scary.
was just like, what is going on? And so I, shook him and stuff, and he smelled like alcohol.
Okay, that's very scary if he's non-responsive, right?
Yes. Yes, I was very concerned. I was floored. And so I went downstairs to ask Marcia about it, like if she had noticed anything. And she said, well, I let him in this morning at 5:30 in the morning. He knocked on the door and came in and, went up to his room. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you what? Why didn't you tell me? And so she thinks she's not supposed to tell, the mother of a minor who's been drinking and strongly smells like alcohol. And so I ended up having to fire her because I just feel like she violated my trust in, letting me know that she should have let me know that a minor was drinking, especially my son.
Okay, your son is how old?
17.
17. So you have a 17-year-old, so is that your only child, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Only child, 17 years old, apparently highly intoxicated, coming in at 5:30-ish in the morning. The plaintiff here witnesses this, and you are upset with her because of her failure to inform you about both that incident, him coming in at 5:30 drunk, and also the bottle that she found of beer in his room.
Yes.
That's essentially the fireable offenses that you're telling the court to consider.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and what is your response to that? Because she says you should have told her that you found a bottle in a 17-year-old boy's room and that of beer, and that you should have said, Miss Carolyn, your son came staggering into the house at 5:30 in the morning, reeking of alcohol. You should know. That's her claim. What do you say to that?
Right. Well, I wouldn't call it intoxicated. He wasn't unresponsive. I don't know what that's about. He walked up to his room just fine when I let him in.
Did you speak to him? Did you guys have a conversation?
He only really said thanks for letting him in, and then
he went upstairs.
Yeah.
Did you feel like anything was out of the ordinary?
Well, yeah. I didn't expect to see him outside at 5:30 trying to be let into the house.
Let into the house. Okay.
Yeah.
And how about it? It's 5:30 in the morning. He's knocking on the door. Why didn't you go let your son into your home?
Oh, because he was knocking on the door. I didn't hear him upstairs.
Okay, so you're saying you heard him because you were closer to the door?
Right.
Okay. Now, you opened up your statement to the court talking about her drinking and how she's always got a mimosa. And you said
that's not true.
Okay, that's fine, ma'am. Even if you did, you're over 21.
Right.
So you can have a mimosa.
Yeah.
Okay. So what relevance do you want the court to take from her excessive drinking as you frame it?
Right. Like I said, I always see her have a drink when I'm there. So I don't know.
She's only there once a week.
Okay. Go ahead, ma'am.
So I don't know what she allows her son to do. I don't know the rules of her house. It's her house. It's her son. I'm not there to govern his drinking. I'm not there to, let her know that he's doing anything illegal or wrong or whatever. That's not my job.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
You said that the cleaning started really good, solid, acceptable, and then it deteriorated over time. But why were you continuing to pay her if the work was subpar, ma'am?
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a case of Marcia Randall, who blames Carolyn Oliver for firing her for no good reason.
I'm just there to clean the house and then leave and go
Okay.
on and clean my next house.
I have a final question for you, Carolyn, and then I'll be ready to rule here. So you fire her at the point in which this 5:30 in the morning incident occurred with your son, right?
Yes.
But before that, you were paying her, per the contract, every 2 weeks for the housekeeping work. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, you told the court, and I slowed you down because you wanted to skip over it, but I wasn't going to allow it. You said that the cleaning started really good, solid, acceptable, and then it deteriorated over time. If that's the case, and you said that you told her, because I said, well, did you tell her that you're now seeing a problem with the housekeeping? And you said you told her, and you agreed that she told you. But why were you continuing to pay her if the work was subpar, ma'am?
Oh, well, because I have spoken to her. And I, took...
Did it improve?
I trusted that she would do the cleaning. It really didn't improve very much. I mean, it was just bad.
Your Honor,
it just
her
seemed like she
complaint was
got
that
really...
I put a cup in the wrong way.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Her complaints were like, I put a cup facing the wrong way in her cabinet, or I didn't dust a specific corner the right way, so I would have to redo it while she
No,
watched
it
me.
looked very lazy. It looked like she just wiped it once and then that was it.
So then why continue to pay her? Because listen, I will not overstate, the severe economic anxiety we are all facing in this country right now. A dollar is hard to come by and getting harder and harder to stretch each and every day. So I'm confused, ma'am, when you tell me that this young lady's cleaning was going from good to okay to unacceptable, but you're continuing to pay her.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
So she's saying that you went from an immaculate job of executing the housekeeping to a poor job of executing, and you're telling this court that is not true.
That is not true, no.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a case of Marcia Randall, who blames Carolyn Oliver for firing her for no good reason.
See, now the court is confused because if the work was subpar, just the cleaning part, why not withhold payment?
Well, she was referred to me by a friend, and so I didn't want to let my friend down and just fire her automatically when things didn't look right. I gave her chances, and she seemed sincere. She seemed like, she was really going to do a better job, and when I came home before, when she first started, the place was immaculate. I walked in and it smelled like Pine Sol.
That she is capable.
Yes,
she is
I know
capable
she's
of cleaning your
yes,
home
absolutely.
at the level in which you expect.
Yes, and I was hoping it would continue that way, or after our talks that it would get that way again, but it really didn't. And
okay, so let me stop you because I need clarity on this before I rule, ma'am. Are you telling this court, because I don't have a video, I don't have photos, all I have is your word and your word. So she's saying that you went from an immaculate job of executing the housekeeping to a poor job of executing, and you're telling this court that is not true.
That is not true. No, I don't agree with that. There were only those.
Did you change your protocol or procedure in cleaning?
No, not at all.
Did you change the products?
Nope.
Okay, so you're saying same products, same procedure. So you're saying that the cleaning you did up until your firing was just as good as the cleaning you did day one,
Yes.
where she's singing your praises.
Yes, I stand by that.
And you stand by that.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, what do you say about that?
no, that's not true. It's just not. It's absolutely not.
Okay.
She got lazy. She got, I hired her. She was through a friend. She just thought she was going to have a free ride because she was, a close friend of mine's referral. And she just got lax.
Yeah.
And she
But she
didn't do
showed
the
up.
job.
Did she show up every day between 5 and 5:30, every Saturday? Right.
She did. She
Okay,
did.
so she did do that.
Judge Ebony's verdict when equal justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
The basis of your claim that she should have gotten fired because you keep telling me she broke your trust, right? You
Absolutely.
keep telling the court that she failed in her duty to you, her observations of alcohol consumption by your 17-year-old legally minor son.
Yes.
And the problem I have with that argument, ma'am, is this woman is not the police. So she has no responsibility to you or anyone else as it relates to the chosen behavior of your adolescent son. That is not on her as a responsibility. The second argument I would be willing to consider as it relates to this claim here was the actual effectiveness of her cleanliness. Okay, was she executing her job as outlined in this contract effectively? Now, you're shaking your head no. You've told me over and over again how it was unsatisfactory at the end, but you can't prove it to me. You've shown me no pictures. You've shown me no evidence. This court finds this contract is enforceable. The court finds that this young lady showed up every Saturday in the allocated time and made every effort to clean your house at a high level. Thus, the court rules in complete favor of the plaintiff. And I will award you, ma'am, your $8,000.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That is my ruling.
All rise.
Judge Ebony has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $8,000.
Any final thoughts for each other?
I know I'm good at my job. I hope in the future you can be better at doing your job of being a mom.
I hope in the future you can be more honest.
Okay, you've had your day in court. Please grab your belongings and follow me.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.